Here's one simple tip that's going to help you have a more consistent toss, and it's called the glass of water technique. Let me show you. If we zoom in here with Federer, and I'm going to show you Ivo Karlovic doing the same thing, and then I'm going to show you how to practice this at home right after this video. If we get to the point where Federer is releasing the ball, we notice he has a watch on his wrist. Well, we can see the face of the watch. Let's go to where he's releasing the ball right there. The watch face is pointing over the net. That's because Federer doesn't have his palm facing up, but rather his palm is actually facing the back fence. By doing this, you isolate the shoulder. You're not going to bend the elbow. You're not going to bend the wrist. You're not going to flick the ball off your fingertips. And all of a sudden, you just release the ball from your fingers, and the ball goes up in a very consistent way. In fact, if we zoom in here, look how the ball has no rotation on it. Look at that ball. That ball's not spinning. When you toss the ball, look to see if the ball's spinning. Toss the ball like it's a glass of water with your palm to the side. You won't use your elbow, you won't flick the wrist, and your toss will be much more consistent. Here's Ivo Karlovic, one of the ace leaders on the Pro Tour in history. And look at his toss. He's got that same look as he's releasing the ball. It's like he's holding a glass of water and he's just tossing a glass of water into the air. When you hold your palm this way, you're not going to bend the elbow, you're not going to flick the ball from the wrist, and you're not going to roll the ball off your fingertips. The only thing that is going to move will be your shoulder. So try tossing with your palm to the side, and you could think of it as your palm facing the back fence. That's going to isolate the shoulder, and you're going to have a much more consistent toss. I cannot wait for you to try this.
So let me show you why this is so effective. And yes, it's kind of like you're holding a glass of water and you're tossing a glass of water in the air. When you hold the ball with your palm facing up, it can lead to the elbow bending, flicking the wrist, and rolling the ball off the fingertips. And there are many pros who toss with their palm up, and it works great for them, and I'm glad. And if it's working for you and your palm is up, then don't change a thing. But if you're struggling with your toss and the ball kind of goes all over the place and you're being told, hey, keep your arm straight, and you're like, I'm trying, but I keep bending my elbow or flicking my wrist, then try turning your palm 90 degrees to the side. See, your palm tends to face the opposite direction as compared to your elbow. So when your palm is up, your elbow points down. Well, if your palm is to the side, now your elbow is pointing to the side. You're not going to bend your elbow. This is what Ivo Karlovic does. Watch Ivo. Click back and you'll see as Ivo tosses the ball, he actually has a slight bend in his elbow. Because what we want to do is lift with the shoulder. But if our palm is to the side, it doesn't matter if our elbow is bent because we're only going to lift from the shoulder. And when your palm is to the side, you're not going to flick your wrist. All of those problems of bending the elbow and flicking the wrist and rolling the ball off the fingertips, they come from a palm up position. So again, if you're tossing palm up and it works perfectly for you, keep doing it. And I'm so glad that it is working. But if it's not working for you and you've tried it, try tossing with your palm to the side. You're not going to bend the elbow, the wrist, or the fingertips. And the only thing that is going to move is going to be the shoulder. When Federer tossed that ball, you could actually see the writing on the ball going up into the air. The ball was not spinning. In my experience, when players have an erratic toss, they also have a lot of rotation on the ball. And that's because they're doing things that cause the ball to go all over the place, like flicking the wrist and rolling the ball off their fingertips, which just so happens to also put a lot of spin on the ball. So practice this. Go out and practice just tossing the ball, keeping your palm facing to the side. I purposely wore a watch. I'm going to try to keep my watch face pointing toward my opponent, not letting the watch face go to the ground, which can make me do bicep curls and flick the ball from my wrist. Try this. You're going to feel instantly how the only thing that lifts is your shoulder, and your toss is going to be so much more consistent. Now, if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, or if you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for Play Your Court, and it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Remember, it's just a glass of water. Hold it like a glass of water from the beginning and toss that way, keeping your palm to the side. You're going to be so much more consistent, and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.